So, I sent out Bouley Bay last weekend, and after watching my footage, I realised some surprising things. Today, I'm going to break down my best run to figure out what I did right and where I went wrong. I'm going to be breaking this run down into 7 different sectors. The launch, cafe, Sleeman's, the Platon, the run to radio, and top bend. So without further ado, let's start with the launch. Wow, there are so many things wrong with that, but watch this. As I let the clutch out, the bike just wants to come up. Now that's also due to suspension issues, but it's also me being really aggressive on the clutch. Now it should be noted as well that my positioning is completely awful and I should be on the red line aiming for the arrow, as that's where the start of the corner is. But instead I'm in the middle of the track instead of all the way to the right side. Now let's move on to sector 2, which will be cafe. Now, it's not horrible, but it definitely needs work. As you can see in my entry, I brake way too early and I'm too far on the left side. I turn in way too tight, which then fails to set me up for turn 2, as I should be more on the left side. Instead, I'm completely hitting the apex way too early and I can't put power down. I need to be putting power down here, but unfortunately it's just not happening. So then it gives me a terrible run out. Time to dissect sector 3, which is my favourite Sleeman's corner. Absolute stinker there, if I'm being honest, and could do with a lot of work. First thing wrong is I'm way too far right and I should be grazing the bank on the left. I then turn in too early and let off the power doing so, causing my soft suspension to dip heavily, as you can see. By the time I put power on, you can see it unsettles the suspension, and I'm mid-corner at that point. And for my run to La Platon, it doesn't work. Up next, we got sector 4, which will be La Platon. Now, it's not that bad, it's just keeping speed is a problem. As you can see, I should be way to the right now, and I turn in too early. I should be turning in a lot later than I do. I'm hitting the apex, still alright though, just a bit early. Leaning over, I'm doing okay. My suspension's just unsettled, is all the issue is, but it was a fairly good run nonetheless. Next in line is sector 5, a fun one, the run to radio. This was the best I've done so far, and honestly where I dropped most of my time. As you can see, I'm just keeping it pinned. I keep it tight, nice and tight to the bank, and my main goal at this point is just trying to keep on top of the throttle and not come off the bike due to speed wobble. And I'm keeping it way over the white line so I can set myself up for radio nice and clean. Now for the famous sector 6, a tough one to nail radio corner. Definitely made up some time there. Like I said, it's hard to nail and I didn't do that. Now coming into radio, I should be stood up already and then braking a bit later, although it's hard with really soft suspension. Now I'm setting up myself for the corner, or the apex of the corner, really nicely. I hit the apex. I should be putting on power right about now, but I put it on a little bit later. As you can see, when the front starts to rise is when I'm actually full whack, full wide open. My exit coming out of radio was pretty clean, to be honest. Moving on to the last and final sector, sector 7 top bend. 100% lost some time there, but I'm still improving every time. Now my entry to the corner is absolutely atrocious. I brake a little bit early, but I'm doing stoppies every time I come into that corner. Now I should be turning a lot later than I actually am. As you can see, I'm aiming for a different apex than I should be taking. I should be going a lot wider than I am tighter, because if you go wider, it gives you a better run towards the finish line. And then in turn with that, I can't straighten up for the finish line properly and get a good drive. Bear in mind, this is my 4th time at Bouley, and I've somehow managed to get in the 40s. Now ending it off on a good note, I just want to say my best time of the day was a 48.94, which is pretty good for stock suspension and etc. I'm noticing with that my suspension is my problem, so I'm looking to upgrade, but that'll definitely be something to do over the winter. Now if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. See you guys later.
Run to me, confess your love.